Hello everyone, welcome to Sarat Chandra Academy. Our today's topic of discussion will be vaccine derived polio. So we will be discussing our topic under all these heads. First of all, we should discuss that what is the recent news, what is the recent context. So recently a 2-year-old boy in Meghalaya has been infected by vaccine derived polio. So what is the vaccine derived polio? To understand this topic, we must be understanding the basics like what is vaccine, what is polio, then only we can understand the whole issue. So starting with that, what is polio virus? So it is highly infectious virus which infects the children under the age of 5, and this virus generally spreads through fecal oral route. The process of this virus is it enters the body, it multiplies in the intestine, and it affects the nervous system, through which the people get paralyzed. This virus has 3 types. Wild polio virus 1, 2 and 3, type 1, 2 and 3. But these are slightly different, but if we talk about the symptoms, all these 3 types, the symptoms of all these 3 strains are identical. Now, having discussed about the polio, let's discuss that what is vaccine. So, vaccine is nothing but a biological preparation which helps our body to fight against the diseases. What actually happens in a vaccine is a vaccine contains a microorganism which resembles the microorganism causing the disease. So in a way, when microorganism which is contained in the vaccine enters our body, it triggers an immune response. How it triggers? Our immune system releases the antibodies. So in a way, when a microorganism through vaccine enters our body learns, our body remembers that if the next time this germ or microorganism enters our body, so our body know that how to destroy that germ. So a vaccine works in this way. Now there are 2 kinds of vaccine, that is oral polio vaccine and inactivated polio vaccine. So oral polio vaccine, as the name refers, it is administered through the oral route, and it contains live but weakened virus. The word we use is live and attenuated virus. While the inactivated polio vaccine contains inactivated or killed virus. So we will be discussing about the differences and what are the pros and cons of all these types, but for time being we are just discussing that one type of vaccine contains the live and weak virus which is administered through oral route, and second kind of vaccine contains inactivated or killed virus and it is given in the form of injections. Okay. Now, having discussed about these 2 terms, that what is polio and what is vaccine, now we will be discussing about what is vaccine derived polio. See, generally what is the normal process? When a vaccine is given, when a vaccine is administered to a child, so the virus in the vaccine enters in the body, it multiplies in the intestine, and it is finally eliminated from the body through the process of excretion. But in rare cases, what happens is this virus mutates, this virus changes its form and acquires the ability again to infect the person, and this only is the process what we call as vaccine derived polio. Now having discussed about what is vaccine derived polio, so as we know that India is already declared as polio free in 2014, but now India is again witnessing these cases of vaccine derived polio. So will this take away the polio free status of India? Will now India will no longer be the polio free country? So the answer for this is no, because the Indian government does not consider vaccine derived polio as the case of polio. According to Indian government, only if we witness the case of wild polio viruses again, then only we can say that yes, India is again seeing the cases of polio virus. Now we should discuss that what is the progress, what is the overall progress of the world in dealing with the cases of poliovirus. So in 2015, officially it was announced that type 2 of wild poliovirus has been eradicated, and in 2019 it was declared that type 3 of poliovirus has been eradicated. So this is the overall progress, and in 2014 India was declared as polio free. But there is an issue, there is an issue that before 2016 for poliovirus trivalent vaccine was administered, but in 2016 this process was changed and bivalent vaccine was administered. So what is the reason behind it? See, bivalent and trivalent means, as we have discussed, that there are 3 types, there are 3 strains of poliovirus. So trivalent means the vaccine will consist of microorganisms or the protein of all the 3 types, 1, 2, 3 of all the 3 types. So it is a trivalent vaccine. On the other hand, what bivalent vaccine means, one of the strain has been removed or eliminated. So what is the reason behind it? The reason it has been found that the type 2 of poliovirus is responsible for about 90% of vaccine derived polio cases. So the type 2 is responsible for 90% of polio derived cases. So it was decided that now we will be administering only bivalent vaccine, which will have strains of only type 1 and type 3. Now, as it is visible in the diagram that inactivated polio vaccine have 3 strains here, and even after 2016 inactivated polio vaccine have 3 strains here. But oral polio vaccine is converted from trivalent to bivalent. So why is this case? Why one strain is not eliminated in IPV also? So the reason behind it is inactivated polio vaccine contains the killed or inactivated form of virus. So this kind of virus do not have the ability to mutate, do not have the ability to change itself, and if it cannot mutate, it cannot cause vaccine derived polio. On the other hand, oral polio vaccine have weak form of virus, but still it is live, it is in the live form. So it can easily mutate and it can easily cause vaccine derived polio. Okay, so recently the experts are also asking to shift to the inactivated polio vaccine because only of this reason, because inactivated polio vaccine do not have the capacity, the killed virus do not have the capacity to convert itself, to mutate itself and cause vaccine derived polio. Okay, so this was the actual reason that why health experts are asking for IPV. So as IPV is not a live vaccine, it carries no risk of vaccine derived polio. Also some of the developed countries like USA and Canada have completely switched to inactivated polio vaccine. But why Indian government has not still eliminated oral polio vaccine from its immunization program? Because oral polio vaccine is very easy to administer. It is very easy to administer because in case of inactivated polio vaccine, which are given through injections, they require trained health personnel. Also, in inactivated polio vaccine, the virus have to get inactivated or killed. So these all require chemicals. So inactivated polio vaccines are also expensive to manufacture. And the third thing is, we can understand this through an analogy. The more challenges a person face, the more stronger it becomes. So if a body faces a challenge in the form of inactivated virus, it will generate the immune response which will be lesser than when a live virus enters the body. So the kind of immunity generated through the oral polio vaccine or through the live virus is more stronger. That is why Indian government still have not completely eliminated oral polio vaccine from its immunization program. But since now we have seen a case of vaccine derived polio in India after receiving the status of polio free, as a polio free country. So now we have to see that what will be the stand of government after these cases. So that's it for the topic. Now we shall be discussing one prelims and mains question from this topic. Now first question is, with reference to polio, consider the following statements. The virus is transmitted by person to person mainly through fecal oral route. Second, polio is not a fatal disease. Third, there is no cure but it can be prevented through immunization. So I will be giving you 10 seconds to decide what will be the answer. So please take 10 seconds. Please read all the statements carefully and please decide your answer. Okay, so now we shall be discussing. The first statement is, the virus is transmitted by person to person mainly through fecal oral route. So we have discussed in a previous slide also that mainly it is transmitted through fecal oral route. So option number 1 is correct. Second, polio is not a fatal disease. See, generally it is not a fatal disease, but as we know, polio virus causes paralysis in body. So if your breathing muscles are paralyzed, then it can be fatal. So we cannot say that it is not a fatal disease. At times it can be a fatal disease. So second statement is wrong. Third, there is no cure, but it can be prevented through immunization. So what is your take in this? Do we have cure for polio? Means can a person be completely cured from polio? No. So there is no cure for polio, but through vaccination we can prevent this disease. So statement 3 is correct. So in a way we can say that option number D, 1 and 3 is correct and second is wrong, so option number D is correct. Now coming to a mains question, elaborate upon the differences between inactivated polio vaccine and oral polio vaccine. Second question is, why inactivated polio vaccine is preferred over oral polio vaccine. So I think we have discussed some of the differences between these two, that inactivated polio vaccine contains inactivated or killed form of virus and this contains live virus. And second difference we can say that the immunity response in IPV is less than OPV. I think we have discussed the reason also. So you can elaborate on these lines. Second question is, why IPV is preferred over OPV. So I think we have discussed in the last slide that because of the issues like the vaccine derived polio, which we have recently seen in India, IPV is preferred over OPV, and you can more elaborate on this, but the main reason can be this. So that's it from my side. Thank you for today.